kills, they can definitely make a big difference. In terms of their team fights, I really think it goes towards iCy in this one, which means that the mid game might be going for them if they're not able to shut down these heroes early on.
And let's get introduced to the teams. For on the side of iCy, you do have on the line Raccoon, the captain, followed by Bacon, will be running on that lifesteal. Over in mid lane, Cripsy will be picking up your Invoker. In the who will be starting out in the Fountain, like your general Nature's Prophet, will be your Lathan. And finally, up in that top lane will be Duster on the Clockwork.
And on the side of We Pro Dota, we've got this offensive tri-lane with Chippy on the Vengeful Spirit, Demi on the Io, and Silent Dwarf playing that Tiny. In the mid lane, you've got Diplo playing the Death Prophet. They're doing a very good job of creep blocking there. And in the off lane, you've got the solo Bristleback Mushroom Warlord that's just going to try and soak up some experience and get really high levels on his Bristleback.
How do you think? What do you think about this aggressive tri-lane down bottom here? I mean, you have two stuns, but they're not two fantastic stuns. You have a little bit of burst damage, but you don't have any right click. Do you think they'll have enough follow-up to kill either of these two heroes if they go for it, or do you think these two, the two heroes on iCy, will be playing defensive enough to not really phase them?
Well, recently there was a bit of a nerf to Earth Spike. It used to be a targeted ability, but now it's only click on ground ability, which means that it is a little bit harder to land those. It really depends on how good Lion is with his Earth Spike. If they initiate onto this Lifestealer or even onto the Lion trying to get a kill, and Lion can Earth Spike a bunch of their heroes, then they can just walk back onto the tower. Otherwise, this offensive tri-lane really could do something, but they're going to need to put a lot of effort in here to really get the kills. And the question is, will they be able to?
The good news is, unfortunately, that change was not for Lion, it was for Nyx Assassin, so Earthspike is still, you still can target enemy heroes, luckily.
Oh, it's still targetable. I'm terribly sorry. I do take that back. It is still targetable. How
Yeah.
embarrassing. But in which case, it should be a lot easier for Lion to be able to do those that counter aggression if there's an initiation either by Tiny or by Vengeful Spirit.
Man, they don't really have too high movement speeds anyway. I mean, they're all under 300 base movement speeds, which is pretty easy to be able to get that Earth Spike on generally. I mean, with that turn speed, if you're trying to run away or if you're engagement, Earth Spike should be able to come out fairly easy. I mean, you look at Lifesteal, he's got 315 movement speed without boots. That's almost as fast as a Crystal Maiden when she finally picks up boots.
Oh yeah, definitely. One of the fastest in the game, almost as fast as the Creep Wave, but I think Luna's the only one that's as fast as the Creep Wave without boots.
Yeah, I think Lich almost hits that stature too. Lich is a very fast hero. And up at top
Oh
lane,
yeah.
Duster's doing so much damage to Ward. He's burned down all his might, and now he doesn't have to be scared of this Bristleback anymore. Bristleback's not going to be doing anything to you. He's not going to be throwing out quills, and you can just be consistently aggressive. And if Bristleback does anything wrong, you can find a kill there, because you will get a little bit of spines come off from your passive, but if you can't get those additional spines from your actual ability, you're not going to be killing a Clockwork.
The thing is that Bristleback doesn't necessarily need. He doesn't necessarily need the mana. He doesn't necessarily need his abilities. Not this early on in game, at least. All he needs to do is not die. And if he can not die, he can soak up just as many levels as Clockwork. Having said that, Clockwork's already level 4, whereas Bristleback has only just hit it. So that Clockwork doing a very good job of both denying and last hitting there.
And
9 for 9.
yeah, speaking of denies, I see all around are doing really good denies. You have Invoker, 14 for 11 in mid lane against a Death Prophet, 8 for 2. 8 denies, that's so much. That's 250 XP in front. He is in front, sorry. And that's going to start to slowly pay off, because he's just going to consistently keep denying. And if he can get the higher levels, especially if an Invoker scales with those levels, all the abilities just get so much stronger as you level up. He's just going to have the advantage over Diplo. Diplo's going to fall behind a little bit further, and Cripsy, he will eventually be able to go for a kill, jump on in with the Nature's Prophet, and you'll be able to find yourself an easy, possibly first blood onto that Death Prophet.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's going the 3-1 Exhort Quas build here, so he's definitely going for that global build. Not a pushing build. He wants to max out that Exhort as much as possible so that his Sunstrikes deal as much damage, which is frankly a brilliant play. You know, if you're playing a standard Invoker mid, probably not the best idea. But when you've got a Clockwork with those cogs, when you've got Furion with those trees with that Sprout, you've got easy setups for that max damage Sunstrike.
What do you feel about iCy and then the decision not to be pulling? I mean, there's no wards currently blocking it. You do have your additional creep pulled down.
Top lane here, it looks like there's a duel between Mushroom Warlord and Duster. Mushroom Warlord is going to fall down to Duster. He thinks that he can take him on, but he wasn't able to take him on. That battery assault finishing him off. Duster taking the first blood in the top lane.
And that's one of the problems with not having mana throw off your quills. As I was saying before, because you don't have that mana, you're not going to get that extra damage off. You're not going to get that extra fear into the heart of the opponent, and Duster's like, I've got enough to take this. He takes it and comes out victorious. But as I was saying down bottom, what do you feel about these Requiem not pulling for that additional XP, a little bit of gold? I mean, you are on the Radiant side, which has the added factory of pulling through to the second camp, and even to the third camp if required, getting all that XP. Do you think it's worth not doing it, or even just trying to soak in a little XP down there, even though there's 3 heroes that can possibly come in and steal some of that for yourself? For themselves?
Well, to be completely fair, when you're coming up against a double stun lane, even though it is Tiny Venge, you look at the levels. Tiny's level 3, Vengeful's level 3, Io's level 3. Meanwhile, Bacon on that Lifestealer is already level 4 alongside Lion there. So they're actually technically out-leveling this tri-lane, and they're still not giving Silent Dwarf as many last hits as he could be getting. I mean, he is 17 to 6, but that Lifestealer also on 17, and the fact that Raccoon could do so much good if Bacon does get initiated on means that it's probably best. It looks like they do go three people into the mid lane to take down that Death Prophet.
Clockwork, he hit level 6, and he's being a really good Clockwork. Once you hit level 6, start roaming around the map, because the faster you can hit level 6, the faster you can be setting up kills. He jumped on mid, Cripsy was waiting, he didn't even use his cold snap, all he had was a Sunstrike, wait for him come on in. He wasn't able to get the assist point, but he was able to grab the assist gold and XP, so he's going to be quite happy about that. And now he's just shy of level 6.
Yeah, amazing play by Clockwork there. It's what I see a lot of Miranas, especially in this tournament, not do. And it's something that I think that people should be doing a lot more often. Once you get to an appropriate level, like once Mirana has 2 points in that arrow, 1 point in her Elite, 1 point in her Starfall, she should start roaming. She should start throwing arrows everywhere. And what Clockwork is doing is once he hits level 6, he's got his hook shot, he's going to start using it as much as he can.
And down on bottom lane, this Tiny's got to be a little bit careful here. I mean, the Wrath of Nature came through, chipping down both the Ire and the Tiny. Hit a little bit on the Death Prophet. Death Prophet's not going to matter. And they're on a low enough health for Bacon. If he wants to jump on in there and find a kill, he just needs a little bit more mana, so he has Open Woods and the Rage. But once he does have that, they could find themselves an easy kill in this Tiny if he's not careful.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you can see that they're already almost an entire level above the enemy there. He is an entire level above, Bacon is an entire level above Chippy, the Vengeful Spirit there, almost an entire level above the Tiny. So the Lifestealer, even though they're not stacking and pulling, they're definitely getting the better in terms of levels, in terms of last hits there, 25 to 23.
Raccoon, for some reason, hitting level 5 before Bacon, that's a little bit strange. But he's almost got his Finger of Death. Once they have this Finger of Death, this bottom lane, I think, is just going to be won by iCy. I mean, you look at the last hits already, 25 to 6 for a Lifesteal. If you're tri-laning, Lifesteal should not have that amount of last hits. And you look over on the Tiny, he's 24 for 10, so he is on par, he is getting those denies, but because they were tri-laning, they just weren't getting as much XP out of the lane, as you did mention. And now we've got a TP coming down bottom. Clockwork's got a hookshot ready. He's ready to jump on in here. Once he jumps, this is going to be a kill. So he's got a Tiny waiting. He's walking up. He jumps on in, goes on to Chippy. Chippy's in a lot of trouble. The Avalanche just come through. The Sunstrike's going to land. They turn onto Silent Dwarf. The Hex comes out, and that's a double kill going in favor of iCy. And once again, Lathan's here to pick up the kill, and he's going for an early Medallion of Courage.
I think that's a really nice pickup. It's not a usual pickup on an Nature's Prophet, but you can see it'll definitely make a big difference. It's already 5-0 here to iCy. Looks like Death Prophet falling in the mid lane once again. Death Prophet not doing with it very well, and they're going to push down this tower, and they're probably going to get it for free, even though they don't have a catapult.
And in the midst of all that battle, Invoker did manage to find a pick-off in middle on against the Death Prophet. He didn't pick up the kill, but he did get the kill, if you understand that. The creeps did finish off the Death Prophet, and that's another death going towards Death Prophet. She's now 0 for 2. We do have an unfortunate DC coming up by Vengeful Spirit, but she's 2 for 0, and she doesn't even have full boot yet. She's got a bottle, and 8.5 minutes into the game against an Invoker who is sitting on a Midas, boots with a Null Talisman, and Ring of the Basilisk. That's a pretty rich Invoker we have here.
Yeah, well, that's what you get for getting a couple of kills in mid, I'm guessing. Not to mention that 4 points in that Exhort means that he gets a lot of damage onto that Sunstrike. 287 already. He's already level 9. 287 basically means that he can take out almost half of Io's HP. That's ridiculous because as we know, all heroes do come with a 20% base magic resistance, and it means that he can take some 260 damage just from that one Sunstrike.
Sorry to spoil
That's
your fun
insane.
once again though, but it's pure damage, so it doesn't even care about magic armor.
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh my! Thank you very much for picking me up on these. It's great having somebody. It's so much harder to solo cast because you've got to remember all of these and little things you've got to remember. Things like what Doom affects and what Doom doesn't affect, as well as the Sunstrike pure damage. That means that he can take out over half of Io's health in just one Sunstrike.
Yeah, I was not going to have too much fun with that. And they've got a 4-man group up down bottom. They want to do something. The Rocket Flare comes on in. It is level 2, so it does a little bit more extra damage at 120. And 120 is 1/5 of Aya's health, so he's not going to be too pleased about that. And now, Lion, he's on the hunt. He's trying to save up. He's got to be really careful here. He's been scouted out. They're looking for him. They throw in the Bristleback. Bristleback's going in. At the same time, Clockwork finds a Death Prophet in mid lane. And now, an Avalanche. It comes out. It's going to land. Raccoon's in a lot of trouble. Warlord, he's chasing him down. One more Splines. Will he be able to get it off in range? He does, and now will be the death of the Lion, so he's not going to be able to pick up his level 6 anytime soon. Luckily though, we do have Bacon. He is going to retreat, so you didn't lose your carry, you only lost a Lion, but at the same time Clockwork went mid and they found another kill on that mid Death Prophet.
Yeah, getting another kill on that Death Prophet is really shutting her down because Death Prophet... Oh, and the ulti coming out to kill that Io there. Well done to Nature's Prophet for seeing that and popping his ulti.
Oh, poor Io. He's going to get hit by these globes the entire game. He's just going to keep falling. He's not level 6 yet, and he really needs to get it. You look at these items he's got. He's got a smoke and a Sage's Mask. I'm not too sure why he's got a Sage's Mask there. I guess you can use the Soul Ring, and it will give the mana to the opposing player, but you will lose the mana eventually. But it's an interesting pickup. I would have possibly liked maybe some stats, or maybe start working to an early urn so you can get some physical HP on you. Start picking up those gauntlets, but he's going to have a very tough game.
I think the urn is a little bit unfortunate. Is a little bit unnecessary once you start getting towards the later parts of the game. Urn's still very good on an IO no matter what level you're on. So he could go for an urn pickup there. Rocket coming out to reveal that Silent Dwarf is actually really low health and the Sunstrike is going to hit him! Ooh. Brilliant Sunstrike there!
That Clockwork, his Rockets have been on par the entire game, and now the Sunstrike. Perfect Sunstrike, as you said. Tiny. I don't think he's going to be too pleased about that. He's now sitting 0 for 2. And Lion walks in, Fingers of Death, and just picks off Io. So Io falls to anything and everything in this game.
Yeah, this huge burst damage that the team has achieved is just going to shut down the Io Tiny combo, and that's exactly what it's doing.
In mid lane, Duster, he cancelled his ultimate twice, found the pickoff, and then they find the kill. So nice cancellation of his spells there to be able to find that Death Prophet. And now they're sitting 10 for 1. They've got so much net worth. You have a little look at that gold graph. They are 7.5k ahead. XP graph is over 8k. They're just so far at the moment. What should we play Dota be doing? Actually, down the bottom lane, Sunstrike will be taking out that Tiny, and with that Rocket Flare, of course, always hitting. But we pro Dota. They're currently behind 10 kills. They haven't lost any towers yet, which is fortunate. But what should they do from here on out?
Hope for the best. I'm guessing a good team fight, of course, because all of these heroes, they are on streaks. Heroes like the Lifestealer, like the Invoker, because they are on streaks, it means that they do give more gold. So a good team fight could really turn these graphs around. But to get a good team fight, you'd have to do something like you'd have to have Death Prophet's ult and maybe catch 4 or 5 with Tiny's Avalanche. And Tiny being only level 5, it means that he's got no right-click damage. He's relying entirely on that Avalanche and on that toss, and it's not even a maxed Avalanche.
Well, we had a little bit of an unfortunate situation there. We did have a smoke up underneath the Radiant Ward. They smoked up on the tower, and the ward range is enough to be able to see that. And now they've got TP spot coming in. They've got a hookshot flying. It's going to land on Diplo. Diplo's taking a lot of damage. He's going to fall from the cogs after he's been pushed. Nature's Prophet will actually pick up that kill. And then the IO will go down to the Forge Spirits. And now Crips is just going to keep charging underneath that tower with the Tiny, who's got 0 armor. The Wrath of Nature comes on through. That's 4 heroes down. Will they continue going Chippy? The Forge Spirits will. Will the Forge Spirits be enough to take out Chippy? He does have boots, but the Forge Spirits are coming in at a very fast rate. Rocket Flare's coming through. The Sunstrike is not going to land, but Invoker does get the kill from the Forge Spirits. That's a team wipe going in favor of iCy.
Very well played there by iCy. And that's the thing with the team fights in terms of We Pro Dota. They're not going to be able to get a
Dire's
good team
middle
fight because they're
tower
not going to
has
be able to get
fallen.
an avalanche on 3 or 4 people because nobody
Dire's
on the
bottom
team
tower
needs to
is
be
under attack.
close to the enemy to be able to run those team fights, except for Lifestealer, who can just rage and who is very tanky. Nature's
Dire's
Prophet can
bottom
just back
tower
off.
has fallen.
Clockwork can just back off. He's got his hook shot. Invoker can back off. He's got a quite high range with his Sunstrike, with his Forged Spirits. Not to mention that he can Cold Snap well away from the team fight. And Lion, well, who cares if you pick Lion off?
Yeah, as long as he gets a finger of death or a stun out, well, he's good to go. He's happy to sacrifice his life for anyone else. But one thing I really think Repro Dota should have done, they lost the first time or second time they died down bottom. They needed to get the hell out of there. They should have rotated the Tiny and Ire into top lane. Top lane, which was free. Clockwork was roaming around the map. If you can get those up top, start getting some XP by yourself, you can get that level 6 on Tiny and level 6 on the Ire, and then you can start roaming around the map trying to find kills for yourself or come into these engagements. But now in mid lane, Dwarf is taking a lot of damage from the Cold Snap and the Forge Spirits coming on out, and then Wrath of Nature's coming through. It will find itself a kill. We do have the Finger of Death picking off the Ire, and now Cogs Sprout. Mushroom Ward, where are you going? You aren't going anywhere. So that's a 3 easy kills being picked up by iCy.
And it looks like this Invoker's just trying to run away from here as well. Duster might be able to get another kill here if he gets his Battery Assault up in time, which he might.
Doesn't need to. Throws out the cogs, and there goes the Vengeful Spirit. She's got nowhere left to run. And
Yeah,
iCy, jeez.
I can't. This is definitely a GG call. A GG call should come soon. I can't imagine We Pro Dota can really get out of here unless they get, out of this situation, out of this, what's that, 17,000 experience deficit, 17,000 gold deficit, unless they get a really good team fight, which they're not going to get.
Lion is now sitting higher net worth than the Bristleback, who spent half his game farming away up at top lane. And, well, that pretty much says the state of the game right there.
And Lion already with 1 death to his name. Lion being the only We Pro Dota kill there.
What a feeder. How could you, Raccoon? How could you?
Raccoon losing the perfect streak for iCy there.
And then he throws away having the top 5 leaders on the net worth board. Oh, Raccoon. You're a failure.
Bristleback is trying to farm that. I think Bristleback is definitely going to be the savior if there is one. Once again, it will rely on this avalanche. Something that I don't agree with is Tiny going for his grow at level 6. I think it does make you tankier, but tankier is not what you need. What you need right about now is utility. You need to be able to avalanche and get the maximum amount of stun. Godlike's going to come out for that Invoker there.
You do see that Earthsmack, it lands onto 2 heroes with Seer Throw. That's not going to do too much. Invoker's just standing there, double damage. Forge Spirits picks up a quad kill, and all the rares go out to the spectators. Shout out to Nix.
Yeah, Nix getting the getting one of the rares there. I haven't gotten a single rare from this tournament. Not a single one.
I've picked up 2, 4, and then I picked up one while casting earlier today. I was like, oh sweet, I'll take that.
Oh my goodness, no, I haven't picked up a single one either watching or casting. Yeah, that's alright, it's a bit of a shame. Invoker's going to jump in here.
He's got a force stuff, he's got a blue stuff, but that's not enough to save him from this. We do have an first. They pop out onto Silent Dwarf. He will fall down shortly after. Now Ward, he's in the midst of things. Will he be able to find the kills? He's so desperately decides. He's chasing down the line. Lion throws around, throws the Hex, and that will be Spell Doom coming from Bacon. And everyone loves Bacon.
Oh, Bacon doing a very good job there. Raccoon staying a little bit too close though. He wants to get that Finger of Death off, and he's going to die because of it, but he's going to get the kill for Duster anyway.
And they jump back in. Chippy sitting underneath the tower. Will he get a kill? He does get a kill before he eventually falls down. But the tower actually stole it from a big tower.
Yeah, tower taking, but Vengeful Spirit taking some of that gold. The big difference there is the huge gold by Invoker Street Gold, 1,300 and something, I think it was. But once again, it's not going to make a difference. It's 29-4. I don't think 10,000 gold for anyone would be making a difference now.
And Invoker, he's just sitting in the middle. He doesn't care. He wants to fight 5v1. He's ready for it. Especially those Forge Spirits. Once those Forge Spirits are out, you have 2 additional heroes, in my opinion. They're so tanky. They're so strong. The negative armor that consistently stacks up. And on top of a Cripsy who's already doing 170 damage and 18 minutes in on an Invoker, that is brutal, especially with the amount of negative armor and the Forge Spirits, which do each on their own 83 damage. And now, Mushroom Morge, just watch him fall. The negative armor starts stacking up. The damage is coming in from the Invoker. We will get out of it. No, we won't. The 4-stuff comes on in. Chippy will fall for his attempt at saving his teammate. And we did lose a Nature's Prophet down at bottom lane to a relocate from Tiny, but relocate ganks are probably a little bit too late into the game. They came online too late, and there's at least they get something from it.
Yeah, they are trying to slowly get back into this game, and they're having a lot more trouble than I thought that they'd have pushing down this tier 3 tower. They're going to keep chipping away at it. They've lost both of the towers in the top lane and one of the towers in the bottom lane. This Nature's Prophet surprisingly doing quite a lot of work there. Yeah, that hook shot just missing. I was going to say I'm just waiting for the moment when they can really go in and take down this tower, and it looks like that wasn't it.
Don't worry, 5 seconds left before he's going to jump in again, but it looks like they're just going to retreat. They're going to go to Roshan, potentially. Crispy's just going to sit up here and continue playing with the heroes, but they might go back down to Roshan, pick off a Roshan, get an Aegis onto the lifesteal, and Nature's Prophet is now here. But they tell you not to play off your food, because food can come back to bite you.
Very true. What I love about Cripsy and running that Forge Spirits is he uses the Forge Spirits Cold Snap combo really, really well. Cold Snap triggers on damage, which means that you can have a fast right click. I see a lot of Cold Snap Wex builds, surprisingly, which sort of works because you can get a lot of the Cold Snap off, pumping up the Wex and getting up a lot of attack speed. But using the Forge Spirits means that the damage is also dealt to the hero, meaning that you can deal a lot of extra damage just with those 2 spells. And you can see he's already maxed out combo. There's been a hook in.
And there's the Infested, comes on out. The Avalanche is thrown down. Duster will fall down. He does not have the Aegis up and running on him. And now we do see the death of the Tiny from an Invoker. And now Invoker's still chasing down these heroes. 4-stuffs himself in. Demi, he will fall, or Demi will fall down to the Finger of Death. Diplo, your armor and your health isn't going to help you out here. Well, that's 4 heroes down. Bristleback's going to shortly die. And that's 5 heroes. We should see the GGs very, very shortly.
Looks like this tower is going to fall down now without much of a fight. But once again, they're not really pushing. Looks like Lion's just taking the tower damage off of him and going back and making sure that he's not reinitiated on. And they are just going to jump into this tower. Huge burst damage there just from Lightstealer using his Infest.
Yeah, he was just like, I need to grab a little bit of my health back. He'll grab a little bit of health back. Now we got Tiny, throw it away. Demi to his death. That's cruel. Now they're going towards Cripsy. Cripsy is not gonna die. He does have the Aegis. The Earth Smack comes fine on through, but Nature's Prophet will pick it up due to his Desolate damage. Now Chippy's taking a lot of damage to these Forge Spirits. Forge Spirits will pick him up, and then they pick up the following kill on the Death Prophet. And it's just, there we go, the GGs are called, and iCy will be taking this game. I believe they are now undefeated in this tournament.
No, they actually lost their last game.
Oh, that's right.
This was completely different to their last game, which I think is interesting. Cripsy picking up the triple kill really quickly there on the Bristleback before the end of the game. Well played by iCy there. Very different to what we did see last game. iCy, as I said, was one of the top contenders there. But Marquee Stack doing very well to actually counter the amazing strategies done by iCy. For example, this semi-global strategy that worked very, very much in their favor. Invoker 20-1. Very well played by him.
I just think WePro Dota tried too hard to counter iCy. I mean, they picked up an Io and a Tiny. They did not... It didn't look like they knew how to counter that. I mean... they haven't looked like they practiced on those 2 heroes, is what I was meaning to say, because you see the Io, he was roaming around half the game at level 5, he wasn't picking up XP, which you need on an Io. Your Tiny, he was following with that Io, both of them had a hard time bottom, and then what they do, they walked back between middle and bottom, not getting any farm the entire game. They needed to rotate top, get Bristleback down into the hard lane, because sure, if Bristleback dies, whatever, you still have Io, you have your Tiny, they can get some farm. You saw their first relocate gank of the game, they picked off a Nature's Prophet, and that's what they needed earlier on in the game to do some difference, but unfortunately it wasn't the case, and iCy, they did come out with the win.
Yeah, well done to iCy there. Thank you very much for joining me, Dota Yoshi. It's great to have you as a caster. First time casting with you.
It was a pleasure.
And I will be back for my next game at 3 o'clock. I might be doing a fill-in stream at 2 o'clock, depending if you're doing it with Zalareth. But either way, stay tuned to Defense of the Australians, twitch.tv/Defense of the Australians for more Australian Dota 2 action.